Hello,
It's
Shades. We're here to
fine.
show the witty and kind of clever, and we're back
Right.
with this, where last time was a complete mess. And just to be upfront, I did not load back my save to preserve the grade of this trial. I just pressed continue because I am not in the mood to deal with all this. So anyway, let us go ahead and start this. Let me get my timer going off. Gosh. Alright. I can't give up now! Alright, round 2. Can I? Nope, I can't. Okay. Okay, whatever.
Nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing.
Alright.
I'm right about this.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the full body analysis. I'm pretty sure.
That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing.
You're already nailing it though.
This part I can do. I'm getting in the rhythm with this part. It's the part where I have to. Okay, yes, I slowed down the tempo. Okay. Body analysis, you said?
Wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it.
Yep. Okay. I feel bad for last episode. Like I was not. I
Just remember
panicked
what the body was
so
like
hard.
You were
after the explosion,
freaking out
and
in the
you'll see
middle
why
of
it
it.
wasn't the sprinklers.
Okay.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Seriously.
Let's just
Same.
move on.
Yeah.
I think personally, I think this just drained me. Like I definitely am gonna take a break after this game and go to something a bit more
The
light.
reason only the top half was wet was because
Too tired?
Not
I
tired, just
understand.
like sometimes
just
it's just a little bit on the
mentally
edge.
exhausted.
I doused it with water, but only the
Right.
part on fire.
I
the top
understand.
half.
No, her sleeves weren't preserved.
I definitely
The
understand.
sleeves did not live, so I mean the glove could have gotten burned off. It was only the bottom half of the coat.
Well, in this screenshot, they're all
Was it?
burned.
I don't.
Everything's
Hold on,
burned.
let me look at the other one because I don't think it was in the. Let me check the bullet because it will have
Yeah,
the picture.
and the other one,
No, it got her sleeves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfectly aimed for the
but
cover of the
not
goods,
far enough
but I mean,
for the arms. Not all the way up the arm. You can see how it, because it preserved the tattoo.
well, no, I think something was. I mean, why would it get rid of the tattoo if it didn't get rid of the skin? Because the skin is on the tattoo's on the skin,
Well,
so it wouldn't get rid of the
that's
tattoo.
That's
Why would
exactly what I'm saying.
But why wouldn't it get rid
That's
of a
exactly
glove?
what I'm saying.
Because a glove isn't
I'm
the same
arguing-
as skin.
I'm not saying it would get rid of the gut. I'm saying it wouldn't. That's.
Oh,
I'm
I
saying
see.
the same thing.
Okay.
You're misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Yeah. Let's just keep it moving.
Then I guess the sprinklers really didn't.
Yep.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi? Which would mean that Muroko's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's impossible. It's not like she's been around every dead body area and knows what to cover up. No, it couldn't be her.
I'd just like to
Right,
say
and
one thing. If
doesn't
you
really-
work for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
But I mean, you murdered someone, huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
I mean, to
This
get
is
out.
a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
Agreed.
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
I think it's because I have a headache. It's like most of my brain matter is being straining on keeping
Shut up,
me
you.
in a decent condition, not thinking.
You're right.
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
Kyoko,
Oh,
you actually
well, he
did
did?
have a reason to kill her.
Yeah.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything.
That is a pretty good motive.
So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
I mean, it's a pretty good motive.
That
like
would
it's
work.
not like she
It
was
is a
trying to
good
get out by
one.
herself. She was just trying to stop the game, which is a pretty good one.
She had a motive and no alibi.
Right.
Well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
How so?
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet,
Really?
but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something at the scene that was used to cover up the body.
A tart?
Mm-hmm.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make it look like I'm the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? Oh, it would have
But there
had
was
blood
no
on
blood.
it. Oh, but the knife. But the
Yeah.
body. The knife is gonna act as like a tent
Something's
pole.
not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Am I really gonna argue there's gonna be blood on the tarp? Because even we know that's not true. Knife at the crime scene, before body explosion. I'm guessing it's gonna be
By
before
covering the
body
body with the
explosion.
tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the
Yeah.
underside of the tarp, it was totally
Well,
spotless,
there'd
right?
be a slight
It's because
bit.
that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward
That
the body,
I think we have to argue with the fact that the bottom was completely clean. So knife at the crime scene. Just want to make sure I'm gonna try to do the homework for this and actually like do it correctly. So I don't think this is. Yeah, this isn't relevant. So this is not it. It's not gonna be the tarp itself. Body before explosion. Is it this? Had a knife and thirst to Ammon. There were blood stain around the wound. Is it that? The blood stain around the wound? That's a big blood stain. Maybe the knife one. I'm gonna guess it's before body before explosion. That's what I'm gonna guess.
Of course it didn't get dirty!
I think it's one of the last
By
two.
covering the body
Using
with the tarp,
not
the
when,
killer prevented it from getting wet.
before.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side
Yes.
is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
No, that's true.
Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Yep. Yes. Okay, I'm finally thinking. My brain's finally getting into the headspace. Ugh, it feels good.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if
All
you think
right.
about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten
On
blood.
body. Right.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
But only one
If
side?
they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yep.
More than that, what if the
Yeah.
very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
What do you mean? Huh? The blood was
What?
camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
Like a blood bag from the nurse's office.
You're getting too
Like
complicated.
what Hifumi used.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood.
Well,
bags from the
Hifumi
nurse's
used one.
office.
Yeah, but
He just said what I said!
yeah, but that's too complicated.
not even-
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time.
It's not that
The killer
complicated.
got the blood from right there in the garden.
It's just not right. What?
The
That-
chicken.
Oh, the chicken.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. You're going too far.
Yeah.
I got it!
Well, I was going too far, but it
Would
wasn't
have
too
been
complicated.
Chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
You saying they're a chicken?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5
you're saying
chickens.
someone killed a chicken?
5,
And then
4,
covered the body with its
chickens.
blood?
I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense because chickens are so small they wouldn't have too much blood to spread, so no wonder there wasn't much of a pool. It's like they could only afford to do like right in the main area, you know?
Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is
Right, and the
awful.
blood might have... Okay, they might not have actually been dead on the floor there.
I wonder if
They
the
should have at
killer
least
had to
eaten
get the
it.
blood from the
I like
scene
that.
so they wouldn't be spotted
Fair.
walking around.
Mhm.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body.
Not if they did it at a later date.
But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
No.
I think so.
He was wearing it backwards.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize that.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Oh, I see what she's saying. She's saying the
The
clothes
blood
got
was from
treated.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's what happened.
I see
The
how.
murder
I
took
see
place
how.
Before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get
Yeah.
wet. because the killer covered it with the tarp.
The clothes, right,
Then,
before
later,
anything
at the same time
happened.
the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
Yeah.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Really? I'm trying to think. We were in the gym and then I guess that's... Wouldn't it be quite difficult?
Huh?
How so?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body.
So it'd only take him like 30 seconds.
They'd be done in no time.
You still there, right? Oh shoot, did I lose you? No, you're there. Okay.
Hey, man.
Yeah, hey. I was just making sure you were still there.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after
Right.
you met up with
I'll
Makoto
be,
in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point
Well,
on?
somewhat. I'll
Hold on. What, do you need to go do something real quick? Or are you just thinking? I'm not hearing you if you're saying something. Are you just thinking, or do you have to go do something real quick? Well, let me make sure you're not muted. Yeah, you're not muted, so you're fine. I'm just gonna continue and assume that you're there. Because normally you would tell me. Although, if you told me and it didn't tell me, then, We'll be right back, Phil Shades.
Alright,
And we're back. He had to go refix his internet, so hopefully it doesn't drop on him. Anyway.
Oh no.
Yes.
I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Listen, I was as fast as I could get there, alright?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Whoa. Disguised dead body has been added to the truth bullet section. Okay.
Well then,
That's
looks like we're
right.
to
That's
square
the first time we've actually gotten evidence in the middle of a case. Actually, that's not true.
You're right.
I think Hifumi gave us a tablet in the middle of
Yeah.
Chihiro's case. Although I don't know if that counted as new evidence or not. But anyway.
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it?
Which one did?
Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a
Oh
coin.
my god.
50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that.
No!
I just remembered something super serious.
Well,
What?
don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
One we
Yeah.
found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere
Oh
before.
no.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought when I
here it
first saw
comes.
it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important, now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? You.
Oh, shit, yeah. We can't let Coco keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do.
I don't want it anyway.
Huh, so what to do?
Why don't you
She
hang
was
on to
setting
it,
you
Heather?
up here.
Huh? Me?
It's the knife
That sucks.
we gave to Makoto?
Yeah.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that. See, I had a dream about a random person coming in my room and taking the knife. Is that can I put that as evidence?
Then why did you hide that fact?
No.
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I mean, you kind of did. You did hide the fact. It's not a question of, man, I just forgot to bring it up. It's like you purposely did not mention that the knife has been missing the entire morning, you know? I
Right.
couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up until now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer.
Well, I have no idea how you're gonna prove that with one piece of evidence.
Disguise. Hold on. I want to read what disguise evidence actually calls it. Like, what is all the... What does disguise evidence count as? Or what does it say? The murder took place before the sprinklers turned on. The suspect covered the body with the tarp to prevent it from getting wet. Later, they removed the tarp, and the suspect placed the white jacket on the body. This jacket was previously been treated with blood to make it look like the corpse had been wearing it. Okay, so that's just the whole what happened as the theory.
Right.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
Yes, that is
It
true.
really
You gave
is,
it to
isn't
me.
it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes...
I know what we had to say. I just realized what it was.
What is it?
It said that it had. I don't know. That doesn't say
They
like
died to
though.
a blunt. They said they died to a blunt object, not with a knife.
Well, it didn't
Metal
say
pipe.
they died. did
Because
it?
of metal
It just
pipe.
said it's also been struck in the head with an object about metal, thick as a metal pipe.
It's
His
as
body
thick
has
as a
been
metal
covered in wounds. That's not gonna say Because what I was thinking, right? I was thinking if she died from a weapon that wasn't a knife, then clearly we could say that. But it doesn't say that. It
And
never.
instead of,
It,
I know how Kyoko did it. She did this days ago, and then she's been setting us ever since then with slight pieces of evidence.
explosion has been.
It
What
feels
is
like
I'm
it.
trying to think.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no
We can't
question.
contradict with that.
You took that knife of yours
Well-
and killed her with it.
What a horrible
I think that the
I don't
Monokuma
think-
does disprove that. I think that she died multiple days before this encounter.
I don't. It
Multiple
doesn't
days
say she
before
died.
today.
It didn't say. I don't think it said she died multiple
It doesn't.
days. Does it?
It
I
doesn't
didn't
say
think
that,
said
but it says that. It says that
However,
those
dead,
wounds
oh,
are multiple
dead
days
before
old.
Okay, dead before blast. Victim a single time with the knife when completed their body. Also been struck with an object. The body was covered with other wounds that were several days old. I
Right.
don't think that's gonna prove that she didn't die to a stab wound. I don't think that's
Well, I
gonna
don't
be
think
it.
that. I don't think that's the point. I'm not saying maybe for this one, but I'm thinking that overall might be a huge key in it.
I'm trying to think. What would
The
it be?
knife we found
Look at
lodged in
these.
the
Look
dead
at the
body.
little words and figure out what we can
It's
contradict.
the same one we gave to Makoto.
Yes, you did give
It
that to me.
really
That
is,
is a
isn't
fact.
I was afraid of
We
You
that.
can't
say-
contradict that.
If
Yes.
he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just
Why
because I had
can
the
I not
knife
have done
once, that automatically makes me the killer?
It's
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
that's
right?
the okay. So it's something about how she died. There's something that we have that can contradict
So there's no
with how she
question.
died. Fragments near the body. Body
took
was
that knife of
found.
yours
Body
and
before
killed her
explosion.
with it.
Disguise.
What
Okay.
a horrible man you are, my
Let's read those things real quick before we just start
Alright,
randomly
what were
firing
the
at
options?
things.
Exactly.
So the first one,
I know
I don't think this one
is
doesn't
the very
mention
bottom.
about death.
Disguise.
This I don't think this is it.
No.
This is just talking about what the setup was. Then it goes to
Right.
before body, which I don't. Body corpse was found with its head, and the white jacket was covered in the body. Knife had been thrust to the abdomen. Bloodstain. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, that there was no blood on the ground.
Yeah, because they didn't die to a stab wound. Because there was no blood on the ground. That was placed after. We already found it out, which is proof of the after body thing.
But
They were found
if
afterwards
we use this,
without
why
blood spilling
would
out because there wouldn't be blood if they were already dead for a couple days.
Okay.
That's my general idea.
I think I get what you're saying, and I do think it's valid. The only reason I can see them saying it doesn't make sense is that if the knife stays in place, it can act as a potential barrier, so blood wouldn't get out as easily. So that's how I see
that
them
is true.
countering that. That's how just going off of what can happen, I'm just like, but I do think we have to somehow contradict
It's the
before
same
body was
you
found.
gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I
When
was
body,
afraid
no,
of that.
not when.
If he did have that
Before.
knife before, then that seals it. Makoto.
Just because I had that automatically makes...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No. Okay. Decent try.
Shoot!
The knife we found lodged in the dead
Disguise.
body.
Alright.
So the options are fragments near the body, the fatal. Wait, what was that? Exploded by
It's the
analysis,
same one
and
you gave to Makoto.
when body was found. Those are the last three things. What's the when body was found? Just to make sure Yeah, this is just timestamps. This isn't telling us what
That
killed her.
doesn't really help us.
That's not relevant.
Right.
Now, next thing is this one. This notable charred debris around. It was noted that the bomb, which was removed from Makoto in the gym, had disappeared. It's hard to imagine these two events are unrelated.
Maybe it's this.
No, because that's not
That might
saying
be
she
it.
died. No, we're looking for something to say how she died. Unless if we throw
that
the two
could've been
things
it.
against each other, because it was. What if we throw how? That's how she died. That doesn't make sense though. We'd have to throw
Well, what
Makoto
if
gave
she-
the knife against the other one if we use them against each other, because it's only two out of the whole statement. And if it's not before the body, exploded examination. That's the last one I didn't look at. Exploded. Wait, where is it? This one. This is the no before explosion. Where's the one after? What? Am I missing this? Or did I misread? No, I guess it is that one. I thought, hold on. Which one is it?
It really is, isn't
When
it?
body was found,
I was
exploded body analysis. That's how it's worded. I need to find the wording. This one. Why would this one say, the explosion has burnt the upper half of the body beyond recognition? The upper half of the body remained on fire and had been extinguished
It
because
couldn't be
the
this one.
upper half was soaked while the bomb... This isn't relevant. The only one out of these options that is relevant is... The fragments don't make sense. When doesn't make sense.
Not really. When doesn't make
Before
sense?
is the only thing that seems to make sense. Because the
Well,
last
before
one
and the
is
also
the disguise. This doesn't make
the
sense.
disguise. It
How
doesn't
would
fully make sense, but it's either disguised or the one you said.
Well, it
I
can't
definitely
be
agree with
disguised
that.
because disguise doesn't say how they got killed. That's the way
Oh,
I'm
right,
disputing.
yeah,
we need
yeah,
something
you're
that
right.
says how they died. And the one we have is
Then it's gotta be yours, right?
it's gotta be the
fucking-
what's it called? Before body. Before body was
Down
exploded.
4. Down more.
There we go.
It's,
body before
body
the
before
explosion.
explosion.
That's the only thing that mentions like
If
body's
he did have that
status.
knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once that automatically makes me the killer?
But we know it's not against this last one, because that's what we tried. We know that's not gonna work.
So there's no question.
Okay, I have so many hearts. You mind if I just try throwing something at another thing and see if it
What a
works?
horrible man
I don't know
you
why it
are.
would work, but
Yeah.
I just want to see. I want to see if the first one we can break. But that
The
doesn't
knife
make
we found
sense.
lodged in the dead
Because we
body.
we
It's
were
the
given a
same
knife.
one we gave to Makoto.
That's
It
true.
really
It
is,
was
isn't
given
it?
to us.
I was afraid of that.
If he did have that
Well,
knife
it was forced
before,
upon
that
us.
seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife, that
I want to
automatically
use this
makes-
against this one.
Getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No, okay, that doesn't make sense.
No,
okay,
well,
yeah.
That definitely didn't make sense.
I'm just doing random because we have so many hearts, and I know that I'm just being cocky, but like I'm not sure what we're supposed to say. Are we supposed to say being stabbed against us? That doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Did I not use before body explosion on the last one? Like that's the only thing I can think
Same
of.
one we gave to Makoto.
Yes.
It really is, isn't it? I was.
If he did have that knife before, that seals it. Makoto did.
Just because I had the knife, that automatically makes me the
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Wait.
So there's no. You took that knife of yours and killed her.
Okay, yeah, I want to make sure that was the last one, because there were so many after, I want to make sure I wasn't missing something.
The knife we found.
It's the same one we gave to.
It really is, isn't it?
If
It's
he
really
did have
unfortunate
that,
if
that seals
Kyoko
it.
is
just
actually
because I had
tricking
the
you.
knife, that automatically makes me.
Well, getting stabbed
And
is
setting
what
you up.
killed her, right?
Nope. We might, I'm trying to think. How would we contradict how she died? It means it's something in our evidence.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
Disguise?
It's the same one we.
Disguise?
Maybe well, maybe try the explosion, the fragments near dead body on the. That's how she died, right? Because maybe this will help question the fact of is she die by that or did she die by a bomb, which also went missing.
But we know that she died before the bomb. That's a fact.
Do we? How
Yes,
do we
the-
know?
The file, it says, while unknown, however, dead before blast.
Okay.
I
guess.
Was stabbed a single time and went to the... A single stab? I mean, I know there's vital spots that you could get stabbed, but this isn't an option. I'm trying to think, how do we get through this? It's like, why... See, the fact that it brings up metal pipes, but there's nothing... Metal pipes didn't kill her. Like, this would be the thing I would think to bring up.
It could have.
But that's not an option.
It really is, isn't it?
Fragments,
I was-
disguise,
Well, that sucks.
when body. Is it when body was found? That wouldn't make sense, because that's just talking about
No.
when body was found. That's just, I'm trying to think. Why would this say we couldn't kill? Because we woke up at 7:30, and then the play is that we put in the knife when we were running to meet up with everyone in the gym. But that's still, isn't that still between 7:30? I guess it could be after a bit. I'm trying to think. Why is this relevant? I'm really thrown off. Alright. So, if we know it can't be something from what they say, and we know it has to be something that we have, before body is what we think it has
Right.
to be, but the body doesn't really mention death. It just says how it looked. Which I guess is
Right.
it's annoying because it's like the only thing that seems relevant to her death. The fragments don't say
It's
that she
the
died of the
bomb.
bomb.
Well, it might not say that, but maybe it just won't, because it also doesn't say who the dead body was. So maybe it's just the Monokuma file hiding shit from you until you figure it out.
Well, no. It said that the blast went off. It just said that they were dead before the blast, so the fragment wouldn't be relevant to how they died.
I
He
guess.
can't lie, which means that the fragment that's related to the bomb isn't relevant
Okay,
because we're
he
trying to
can't
find
lie?
the dead part.
He can't lie?
That's what he stated. He
I
said
didn't know that.
he said he can't
Well,
lie.
I guess that's fair, but just because someone states that they can't lie, I don't think that always makes it true.
It's annoying because this isn't. It's like, why would something that's been said is relevant? Explosion has been burnt. This is after though. We need something before, and I don't think it's the conspiracy. I don't know why would it be disguised. Is it because the whole thing was set up? What if it's because the
It
whole
might
thing
be.
is set up?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah.
If the whole thing's set up, then how did they die? I guess
Well,
that doesn't
yeah,
prove
that's
how
what
they...
I'm saying.
But that... Okay, I'm just gonna use it because it's like my only
If you
guess.
did have that knife before, then
But it's the
that
only thing that
seals it.
makes sense to me is
Makoto
if
did
it
it.
was...
Just because I had the knife, what? That automatically made.
well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
Really?
No,
I
that's
don't know
wrong.
why that was. Is it because it's a whole setup? I honestly need the explanation. I'm really confused.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro.
I'm sorry, what?
That should be clear from the
Yeah.
description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words,
right.
the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Oh, the coat
Right.
isn't her
Mm.
dead. Okay.
Okay, fine.
I see
So
it now. Okay, I was a bit blinded because I thought I was being narrow-minded.
Right.
So, when we discovered the body,
Fair enough.
the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Okay.
Maybe you stabbed her twice.
It was
Once to
the
kill
lead
her and
pipe.
once to cover it up.
What?
The victim was stabbed twice in the same same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. Why is that not
Now
possible?
we're gonna go on. Well, it's I don't know, but now would be the time where you bring
Before?
up the evidence that there was lead pipe. Now's
No,
the time.
no, you're
Right.
you're off. You're off. It's not the lead pipe.
Really?
The victim was stabbed twice in this spot. No, there's some way to say that says that they wasn't in the same spot. Is it because they weren't stabbed twice? Like the body,
Oh,
the
is it
Monokuma file?
not the same?
A single time.
Oh,
Yep,
no.
I
it was a
got
single time.
Yeah.
Stabbed a
The
single time.
Monokuma file clearly states
Oh, we
that
were
there was
put in
only
that
one
menu. I thought
stab
you were just
wound.
looking.
No.
And it would give you the options.
No, I
Okay.
had 3 minutes
Okay.
to find out
Oh,
what
yeah,
it was.
Sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Oh my
And
gosh.
the knife,
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
That is
Exploding
Jesus.
the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
oh hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning. What's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like...
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart,
Oh.
just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
I might be dumb,
Not
but even I'm
likely.
not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
The only explanation I can think of is it just
The
the fragment?
exploded
I'm
Monokuma
guessing?
fragment. Yeah.
Yeah, fragment near dead body.
I got it!
Yes, we're getting our hearts
After
back.
the explosion, we found a tiny
All
fragment
right.
of something on the ground near the body.
Oh, my
right?
stomach.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the
by the
fatal
10
injury
minutes.
so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that
Hold on,
It's
wait.
Kyoko.
is
Yeah.
the only other possible suspect. You.
Oh, you, Kyoko. Sorry about that.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still
Listen,
don't
you.
know what actually killed the victim.
I was gonna say, listen, you just exempted yourself, and if
Or
only
when.
one other person can do it, it's not. It doesn't matter what murdered them if only one person can murder. Like,
That's true. It's definitely bugging me.
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
we need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
Right.
Yeah.
Concentrate.
Before
Like juice.
body Monokuma file, I'm guessing. Because it's the only thing that mentions before
Then shall we
this whole
continue
thing
the
went
debate?
down.
The victim's
Well,
fatal...
the before body thing mentions that there was the pipe wounds, which would be the time to mention that again. I think.
Did it? No, it didn't.
Oh wait, no, was that not the one with the pipe? Which one was the one with the pipe?
Well, I mean, I'm saying it's the Monokuma file, but I'm saying it because of all the scars all over the body.
Oh.
Because the pipe only said that it was used to hit the object. The object was a pipe. It didn't say that's what killed her. But this is also saying that they had wounds that were there for several days old.
Including one that was by an object with something as thick as a metal pipe, which I say was
No, the
say,
metal
like,
pipe is completely different from the several day old wounds. Those are different pieces of evidence. Well,
Wait, they're
they're
different?
on
I
the
thought,
same
like,
piece,
they-
but they're talking about two different things. The metal pipe happened
Okay.
recently, and the wounds were from days ago.
I thought they were all the same.
No, there's a big difference. It says, the
I
first
thought
part
they were all
says
from
it's talking
several
about the
days
metal
ago.
pipe. The second part is saying the body was covered with other wounds, saying that they were several days old. There are two different wounds that you were not observing, but it's the Monokuma file. Oh, what am I doing?
Right.
The explosion didn't
Well, why am
kill
I
her for
tabbing
sure,
out? Okay, here we go, we're back.
I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
I think we have to
Then
dispute
there's
the
only one other
explosion. Because
yeah.
the Monokuma file says
Agreed.
it happened
According to
before
the
the
Monokuma
explosion.
file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
I mean, that's what
the
I was
victim had
thinking
suffered
again.
countless wounds across her entire body.
Okay, the only one we can dispute is
Then
the
shall
bomb.
we
Those are all
continue the
true.
debate?
No, they're not.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be
Well, I
determined,
said
correct?
the last
The
one, like
explosion
the last
didn't kill her
couple.
for sure. I guess.
No, yeah, okay, she's saying that correctly. The explosion
Well,
didn't kill.
yeah. She was already totally dead when that
Right.
happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
I know what we have to do. Okay, let me
You
explain
do?
what has to happen. We have to grab one of these objects and say what killed her, and shoot it against the first thing. Because you see how every option is yellow? I think that's what we have to do
Oh, I
right
have
now.
There's only one other
Every
thing.
option is yellow.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when I'm listening to what's going on, I'm kind of
gotta
just like
be it.
looking
There
down and
was
just
evidence that showed she
listening.
was hit on
It's
the
not the back
her
of the head. That has nothing
And
to do
more
with
than
her.
that,
It's this
the
one.
victim
Well,
had
it
suffered
has
countless
something to do
wounds
with the
across
death.
her entire body.
Right.
I can only think of one thing that could have killed her.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
No, wasn't the... Really? Okay.
No.
Shoot!
I think it was the giant. I think he.
Then shall
Yes,
we
the
continue
hero is
the
right.
debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be
The explosion didn't kill her
Not
for
that
sure.
one. So I guess it's the only one that, because the
She was
explosion we
already
know it
totally dead
isn't.
when
And it wasn't because of the knife.
It
Right.
wasn't the knife. We know
There's only one
that.
other
Oh yeah. According
I
to him,
guess-
that's gotta be
I
it.
guess that's what they're
There
gonna
was
go
evidence
for.
that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
You're right.
Alright. I like being right.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
I guess that makes sense.
Most likely
because-
from Fenrir.
Yeah.
Because Fenrir is
Killer
where she
file
got
makes it
the
clear that those
old
weren't
weapons.
fresh wounds.
Oh, that's the other point. They're not fresh wounds, so they weren't the thing that killed her recently.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I
Right.
guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe
Exactly.
in assuming the blow to
Which
the back
means
of
that
her
they're
head is
still
what
alive
killed her.
after.
But then,
Right.
what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file
That
says she
I
was
still
hit with
don't
a
know.
blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
How is that even
Huh?
possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
Uh huh.
No way! The
Um.
balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
I feel the same way.
Sad.
Looks like we're on the same page this time.
seriously?
We
Yeah.
want to
What
figure out
is
what killed her,
happening?
right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on
We
you,
do?
Master.
So what was it?
Yeah, we do.
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Yep.
I don't know. The arrow?
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something.
Those are
and
kind of
that's what
thin
killed her.
to be like as thick as a metal pipe. I mean, they are technically metal pipes,
And
but
that
very,
something
very
was
thin metal
The
pipes.
titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right.
I would agree if you're thinking of one thing, then sure.
I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Because remember, what else did we find in that locker?
Bloody tape.
Yes. I don't blame
Which I
Hina for
know.
doubting it because there's one more thing about the weapon, one more secret. Okay.
I don't know how the tape mixes in. I'm gonna be real.
Bloody tape. Yeah, that's either bloody tape or I think it's gonna be the bloody tape they want. Since it's gonna be a question of
Almost likely.
how are the arrows?
It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Yes, that is true. We
You
cannot
sure?
contradict that.
You don't sound convinced.
That's the thing I
What's
have
the
to
problem?
remember. Anything we have to go against,
Because
we have to
in the
remember there's some
Monokuma
way we
file,
can contradict
it
it.
said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
So we have to shoot too thin.
Talking back
Oh.
to Master.
Oh, I see it now. They added it to the end of the arrow to add weight. Oh my gosh, and thus thickening it.
Wow, you are not on the
Which
right
also
pace. You are
explains
not. Nope, you are
That
not on
also
the right
explains
pace.
The blood? No. All right.
The
tried.
titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Figured it would
that was
add
the
a bit
murder
of
Are
weight.
you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well,
I have no idea.
it
Still,
said the weapon must have been about
I'll
as
let you
thick as
handle
it
this
seems
part.
like an arrow
well, you were
would just
handling
be
it
too
before,
thin.
but I'll still
No,
let you
it's
handle
wrong.
it.
Listen to the explanation and it will make sense.
I am.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single.
You were
weapon
saying
instead
put it
of
at
a
the
pipe.
end. You cannot act as if you called
Yeah.
this. You were off base, okay?
Well, I kind of figured out that it was wrapping around the arrow, but I didn't figure multiple, because that still doesn't feel like it'd be very effective.
Oh, that would be really have you never hold like a bunch of sticks together or something? Like,
Dude,
that would be a lot.
Have
that
you
would be
held a
quite
bunch of
effective.
arrows? Have you held a bunch of titanium arrows? Because
It's
no,
metal
they're
pipes. It's
pretty
metal
light.
rods. Like the application is.
Well,
is
yeah,
the
they're
same.
titanium. I know, but they're still extremely light things to hold and carry.
But light doesn't mean weak. Like, you could still do decent damage with something that's light. Like, light
That
does
is
not
true.
mean something is
It's true.
weak. It just means it's small. Like, now if it said it was, like, bigger
And it has
than a metal
a
pipe,
slight-
then
a
obviously,
smaller
okay, then,
impact
you know, if it was bigger than what they could be
Right.
all together, then yes, it would be put into question. But really, it's not unbelievable. Like, think of a high heel.
I guess
like,
it's not unbelievable.
that thing, high heels can
That's
be pretty
still
light.
very different. Hey, that's very different. That's
yes,
very
that
different.
is true. That is talking about pressure, not just a bunch of metal being strapped together. But anyway,
Yeah, a bunch of like extremely thin metal casings that would like be struck. It loses a lot of like pressure in itself just from being light. Because
yes,
the impact
but it is also still
determined by
it
the
still
weight.
fits our needed size, and it's because it's light.
It
It
fits the needed
doesn't,
size.
and because it's light, it means that anyone could use it. Because if it was heavy, it would disqualify anyone who is weak. Which, I mean, I don't know how much Kyoko can lift, but I mean, if that was in question, you know, if it was heavy, then maybe the criteria would change and
Well,
make us the suspect again. You know.
That's not my point. My point is the fact that since they're so light, the impact itself would be hard to kill someone with. I'm disagreeing with the game in general because weight is part of the equation. Weight times velocity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, we have to end the video. I've had the end card up for a bit here, but anyway.
Alright.
Do all that stuff
Weight
on the
times
screen if you
velocity
enjoyed the
proves
video,
they're wrong.
and we'll see you next time, Fell Shades.